Now that we've done 5 songs using the palm slap groove, we'll dive into another exciting technique called frailing. Frailing is a percussive fingerpicking technique that is used by old-time country banjo players, among others. They use it in a technique called clawhammer, but it's also used by bluegrass players and singer-songwriters as a rhythmic backup. Listen to Blackbird by Paul McCartney, or J.J. Cale accompaniments, or Rodney Crowell's I Wish It Would Rain. The best way to describe this technique is like this. You take a small piece of paper and you roll it into a ball. Then you put it on your thumb, curling your middle finger behind the ball, and you then shoot the ball away. Now this technique comes close to being the actual frailing technique when you turn your hand downwards and brush the strings with the back of your middle finger or your nail, like this, as we'll see in the next examples. Frailing creates a very short, snappy sound, mostly percussive. You use it on beat 2 and 4 the same as with the palm slaps, but there's less tone involved. Here we're playing a C chord, just your regular open C chord. You don't dig into the strings, you just slightly brush against them. And it's done very quickly. And the frail is mostly directed towards the higher sounding strings, so the top of the chord. Now because there's not a lot of tone involved with the frail, which is the part of the groove where you play a chord, there's more accent on the bass and on bass lines. It can even go so far that the actual chord becomes hard to distinguish. You only hear a sound that makes you think of a snare of a drum kit. The slower you play a frail, the more chord you will hear. The quicker you frail, the more percussive it will sound. Let's look at an example. Exercise 110. It is on the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can lay the palm of your hand on the strings close to the bridge or even on the bridge. Now don't worry if this dampens the strings a bit. Actually sounds quite nice. You first play the bass note with your thumb, and you stay close to the 5th string with your thumb. You curl your middle finger inside of your hand like this, and one quick motion, you shoot your middle finger against the strings. Don't go in too deep, like that. Doesn't really sound that good. You just touch them lightly. Repeat that motion until you have a rhythm going. And once you're solid, you can raise the tempo. Now some people prefer frailing with their index finger. The principle stays the same. I think J.J. Cale does that. Try to see what you like. The frail is aimed somewhere at the middle or the higher part of the chord. You can make all kinds of sounds like that. You can frail in a way that you stretch your middle finger to the max. You get more tone. Or you can make the sound snappy by frailing and immediately retreating your finger inward again. So you see, the finger doesn't really move that much. It's all a matter of taste.